You know that whole saying people say out of sight, out of mind?
Right.
I never really knew what that meant. That's what that means, man. Like, you don't really get to, if you can't envision what it is you want to do because you haven't seen it, it's hard to say you have a plan if you've never really seen what it is you really want to do. And Benny Wiley was the spitting image of, man, I think that's what I want. I think that's what I want to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Going Public. I'm your host, RJ. I am excited about today's episode. I have on here tonight with me a kid that I knew when he was 14 years old, has now transitioned into not only a man, but one of my best friends, one who I can call any hour of the day, and he answers, whether he is at work, in the gym, most of the time in the gym, or just doing whatever, he answers. Today in studio is Josh Jones with Josh Jones Fitness. Man, Josh, give me some, boy. It's so good to see you.
Brother?
You are more than a brother. Like, you are my twin.
Yeah.
And although people don't think we look alike, we're twins, right? But man, you've just been a blessing to my life. And man, introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to be here. Like I said before, my name is Josh Jones. I'm born and raised from Abilene, Texas. And I'm excited to be here, man. I'm excited to get this thing going, man. And RJ, I'm excited, brother. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you were on the list. Like, when the team was like, okay, who do we want on?
Yeah.
Like, you're on that first, like, I got to get Josh on, but I got to figure out how that boy's going to get over here, right? Because you tend to stay busy like myself.
Absolutely.
And so we just had to make the schedule work.
Yeah, man.
And so, no, I'm excited about it. Off air, you told me, you're like, man, let's just dive right in. Let's talk about things that most people or maybe are afraid to talk about, but we talk about those things, right?
Absolutely.
Like, when it comes to, maybe timing's not right now, but we've talked about the Diddy stuff. We've talked about just men struggling with stuff. We talked about divorce. We talked about just trying to like people that you don't really like and get along with them. So, man, let's just tap into that. So, Josh, we go back to youth days. I was a youth pastor, right? Did not know what I was doing, right? But I knew I wanted to connect with people at the high school that had influence.
Yeah.
And instantly I knew you had influence, right? Star athlete on the football team, but you had just like a voice that commanded not just attention, but people were drawn to you because of your influence, right?
Yeah.
From your mom raising you to your grandparents raising you, you just had a good head on your shoulders, right? But as we started connecting, you just started opening up.
Man, you know what's crazy, though? The beautiful thing about what you do, RJ, it's so crazy, and I'm not trying to blow your head up because Lord knows it might happen, right?
Yeah, but dude, I love it, so keep on.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, though, is with a lot of young guys, man, especially being in high school, freshman in high school, sophomore in high school, and you go to church, you're in the youth, a lot of the youth pastors necessarily don't do a good job of keeping things exciting and keeping things alive, and you were always that guy. Like, we never knew what you were going to do. You were like the top prankster.
I still am.
Still are to this day. You were exciting. Like, you not only did you, hey man, I'm here for you. What do you need? Prayer. You were everything. Hey man, let's go have fun. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. You need some food. It was whatever, but it was always fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I think as a kid, you kind of long for. You want to have that brother that you can kind of do life with. And you don't necessarily see that in a youth pastor. You kind of see the guy as, man, this guy's got everything together. He's a guy. He's kind of buttoned up. He's a square. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the guy you think that you can go have fun with. You were at every one of our football games.
Yeah. I was, right?
That's insane, man.
Well, because I think... I know we fell in love with you guys, man. Right? And we just became so close that it made no sense for us not to like do life together.
Absolutely.
And the cool thing is, like, you were like, oh, you were there. You were just there for us. You never missed things.
Right.
But now it's like become full circle.
Absolutely.
And you, some of the other ones that grew up in the youth, the Vasquez family, the Nikos, and all of those, right? Yeah. The Jared Smiths. Yeah. They have just stood in the gap and seen me like on my high, they see me on my low. And what's crazy about that love, there was never any love lost, no matter where we were in life.
Absolutely, man.
Right? And so And I want to get into some of that.
Yeah.
And so you've gone through a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right. And although you don't look your age, you are 33 years old, right?
33.
You are 33 years old, but man, you've gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And from we'll go into your mom stuff to marriage 1 to marriage 2 and just heartbreak to disappointment, careers and all those things. And so let's tap in first, if we can, just about your expectation coming out of high school. You're a very sought after athlete, right? Your dreams were to make it, right? And I think everybody in the world thought you were going to make it.
Yeah.
So talk about that, like when those dreams don't become reality.
Yeah.
Where was your mental at?
Yeah, man. You know what's funny is it's crazy to think about. You grow up and your parents tell you, you can do all things. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. If you work hard enough, you can get X, Y, Z done. But the funny thing is that's not always true. And that's okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing. There wasn't a day in high school that I wasn't the first guy in the weight room and the last guy to leave. So in high school, there was a couple groups that we had set up. As a freshman, you did off season with the freshman group and the JV group. They kind of did together. Or you kind of worked your tail off and you got promoted to do off season with the varsity, which was 4th period off season.
Okay.
So there was a handful of us that got moved up and did 4th period off season. And I know who those guys were.
Right.
Jared was a part of that. Herschel Sims was a part of that, my guy. You know, it's a couple guys like Chris Horton was a part of that deal.
Right.
Anthony Carriola. There was about 6 of us.
Well, don't leave out my cousin, Anthony Flores, too.
Exactly. That's my dude.
Yeah.
That Joker is strong. But yes, we got moved up and we got into 4th period. And then after that was done, after school, there was after. So you had your first lift in during the school time. Hardest training I've ever been a part of. Like, I'm throwing up. It's crazy, right? And then after that, you go back to school and you come after school and you do the after. So you go do your track workout or your powerlifting workout and then the extra lift. So I would do all that. I would do my lift and then I would do my extra lift to the point where the coaches would be like, hey, Josh, it's time to go, man. And that was the thing that I did all the time, every single day. And I did the same thing in college. And so work ethic never falls short of that. But didn't make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Where was your mental at when, like, it became the reality that you weren't going to make it?
After you put so much time into it, so much work into it, and you know you've done your best, it's okay to take the L. Because you can raise your hands and you can say, man, like, I've done all I can. But after that, it was, okay, after I'm done, like, what do I do next? And so I was okay with the, you know what? I'm the short guy. I wasn't good enough. Like, cool, I've done all I can. But now college is over. I've graduated with my degree. My only passion was football.
Yep.
So what do I do now, right? So it was almost like a loss of, okay, I'm not going to make it here. Where's my next move? You know what I'm saying?
No, you're absolutely right. Because, like, that's that age where men are transitioning from being a young adult to now, like, oh, crap, the responsibility is on my shoulders. Who am I?
Right.
Who am I? I'm no longer Josh Jones, the football player.
Absolutely.
Right? I am Josh Jones, the man.
Right.
And if we really tap in, there was some identity issues because dad is never in the picture.
Yeah.
Thank God for granddad, right?
Yeah.
But how do you transition to start, like, dealing with the man stuff, right?
So let me say this, RJ. It's so funny you say that, man, because I still talk to this man today, and he has been such a blessing to me, man. I love my grandfather.
Yeah.
I do. Love him, man. And he's done the best he can with what he knows.
Right.
But that's never been a guy that I really looked up to. And that's okay, right?
Right.
So football's over. NFL Pro Day is done. If I take a few steps back during the NFL Pro Day process, there's a man named Benny Wiley.
Yeah.
That dude right there was a guy that I looked up to.
Right.
He was a guy that I thought did things right. Also, he looked like me. So I got this African-American man very successful. He's from the University of Texas, was his last job.
Right.
He comes to Abilene to retire, financially stable, got a family, believes in Jesus Christ, also believes in training.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the guy. How do I get like this guy? Mm-hmm. So I've got my kinesiology degree, but I really don't know where this is going to lead me. I really don't want to be a personal trainer. I want to be able to train other guys that kind of came up like me, that's kind of like Benny. Mm-hmm. And so seeing him and what he did every single day, it gave me a glimpse of what was possible, man. Because you know that whole saying people say, out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
I never really knew what that meant. That's what that means, man. Like, you don't really get to, if you can't envision what it is you want to do because you haven't seen it, it's hard to say you have a plan if you've never really seen what it is you really want to do. And Benny Wiley was the spitting image of, man, I think that's what I want. I think that's what I want to do.
Bro, I remember when Billy came to Abilene, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for my life, you called me.
Yeah.
When you started training with him and learning how to be a trainer, right?
Yeah.
You called me.
Yeah.
You guys were working out at primetime.
Yeah.
Right?
Performance Lab, Primetime.
Right. All those things.
Yeah.
And you called me.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, come work out. Yeah. Man, I was so pissed off. Not even before, because I was happy about going.
Yeah.
But I was pissed afterwards. Have you ever? You probably haven't, but for us chubbier people, bro, I was so tired. I was coughing on the way home.
Yeah.
And I was coughing so loud I didn't know if I was coughing or farting. Like, it was just like
gosh,
my whole body hurt. Like, and I was mad. Like, I almost deleted you from my contacts.
Yeah.
But man, Josh, but also during that time was a very hard time.
Absolutely.
For you, right?
Absolutely.
And so you're trying to be a man. At around that time was Divorce 1.
Yeah.
Right? Divorce 1.
Yeah.
High school sweetheart.
Yes.
Right? High school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Who everybody would have banked on you guys making it forever.
People thought we did it right. Like, people are like, oh, these people, like, they're going to make it. I remember the principals, several of them were like, hey, these guys are going to get married.
Right.
And they're going to stay married. This is it.
It was almost like if it was an arranged marriage,
Yeah.
not even with the parents, but with the community.
Right.
Right. This
Everybody
person
around
and
us.
Josh, right?
Yeah.
This makes perfect
They're gonna
sense.
fit.
And it's going to work out forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If somebody had to bank, like I said, if they had to bank on love,
Absolutely.
they were going to bank on y'all's story.
You got the cheerleader. Mm-hmm. You got the football player. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them, right?
Yeah.
All those things.
Absolutely.
So at what age were you when divorce hit?
I was 20, I think I was, 24 years old.
24 years old.
24 years old, which was a very, man, that was a, RJ, there's a couple of things that were going on around that time. So, couple things. My mother,
Yep.
okay, so let's go back to mom, because I got to talk about mom, because she was also in this mix as well, okay? My mom was homeless.
Yep.
Remember, I was actually raised homeless.
Correct.
So, like, any time that I wanted to go, like, spend time with mom, we had to go be homeless, and either she was going to be in her car or at some shelter.
Right. And a lot of times you told me it was in the car.
It
right?
was. And so, but she was my best friend. And so, fast forward to now, I'm in college. She's in and out of apartments, but she's still homeless. And so, that was a different dynamic in my marriage, because I wanted to be able to just take my mom in and just take care of her, along with taking care of my fiance and my wife.
Right.
She wasn't having it, man.
And that's where we really connect, because my mom was the same. Although she wasn't homeless, she lacked, whether that's financial or whatever, she lacked. And so a lot of times I'm laid up with my then wife.
Yeah.
And I would get the call at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Mijo, will you come get me?
Yep.
And all we know at that age is to protect mom, right?
Her son husband.
That's exactly
That's actually the term. That's
right.
what I was.
I did not know how to put my wife first.
Yeah.
Because all I knew was mom.
Absolutely.
Right. And so a lot of the times as we grow up, we saw things happen to our moms.
Yeah.
So we go into this defense mode.
Absolutely.
Right. So when mom calls, whether we're married or engaged,
You got to go.
I'm going. I don't know any better.
Right.
Right. Because I want to make sure mom's good, because she always made sure I was good.
Absolutely.
Right. And so talk about how that just affected just that relationship.
Man, I didn't even know I had a problem, dude. Like, I didn't even know that was an issue, RJ. I just thought I needed to take care of my mom, and I couldn't understand why my significant other wasn't with that.
Same.
Now, she came from a great home.
Same.
You see?
Right, exactly.
She came from a great home. She came from a home where her father was the father and took care of things.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the dynamic of her was, well, my dad does this and this for my mother. Mm-hmm. They have a relationship. Why are you a son husband? And she didn't use those words, but why are you going and taking care of your mom? If your mom needs help, she can go do X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, it's just me and my mom. Nobody else is going to do it. She's not going to go to her dad because their relationship is terrible.
Right.
That dynamic is terrible. So she can't go anywhere. So if I don't go take care of my mom, some other man that I don't like and I don't condone and I don't want is going to be taking care of her. So I got to go make sure I got to go do it. So that's step one of messing up a relationship and messing up a marriage because we weren't aligned in that. Mm-hmm. And that's not her fault. Right. That's just where we were different because I came from a different past. I didn't even know it was the wrong thing to do.
We had a conversation years ago, Josh. I don't know if you even remember this, but you told me part of your motivation to get fit and get bigger, was to make sure that the guys that walked into your mom's life would be intimidated by you.
RJ, I'm 8 years old. Okay, Fannin Street over there by the Boys and Girls Club.
You act like I don't know where Fannin is.
I know you know exactly where that is, brother. I'm 8 years old, and I'm asleep, and I'm hearing bang, 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 yelling and screaming. It sounds like it's coming from the kitchen or in the hallway, okay? And so I wake up, I hear my mom yelling and screaming, and the guy who she's married to at the time, by the way, this was a revolving door of different dudes. So this dude was just a guy for the year or for whatever, for the month. I walk out, I look out of my door to the right, and this man has my mom pinned up against the wall by his forearm on her neck with a pitchfork to her stomach. You know, those like a little barbecue pitchfork to her stomach. And he's saying whatever it is he's saying. I don't even know what he's saying. I'm just like stunned. Yeah. And my mom's like, look at what your dad is doing to me. By the way, this is not my dad. This is a guy, whatever.
Who's filling in.
You fill in. Yeah. Look at what your dad is doing to me. Look at what your dad is doing to me. So I run at him. I'm 8 years old, dude. I ran him. I try to bite him. He slings me off. Then they get to arguing and doing whatever, and then it just stops. I actually, RJ, to be honest, I don't really know what happens after that. But nobody got severely hurt besides, like, the internal Joshua Jones. Right. I go in my room. I'm crying. I'm pissed off. I really don't know how I'm feeling, man. But I said to myself, I said, I'm not going to be in a position where I can't protect the one I love ever again. Wow. That's never going to happen again.
It's crazy what we can remember at an age we thought we could never remember, right? Oh, yeah. So when you're telling that story, when you're 8 years old, same thing happened to me when I was about 11. That's when I started driving, right? 10, 11 years old is when I started driving my parents home because they would get intoxicated. Yeah. And the best thing to do was for me to drive, right? Right. Yeah. There was a time where we would always have barbecues, right? At this place, my parents' friends, and things would get wild, right? As alcohol, drugs, and all that stuff goes, before you know it's a big old brawl. And I vividly remember this story is this guy pulls out at the time, it's called a butterfly knife, right? That. You know, like all those things, right? Yeah. They were cool until they're not cool when it's actually happening in front of you. Yeah. And so he pulls out this butterfly knife on my stepdad. And my mom, doing what a wife would do for her husband, my stepdad, she goes and charges this guy that's about to stab my stepdad. And when I see this all, and I have my sister Sophie with me. Sophie's 2 years older than me, but I've always treated her as my younger sister, right? And so I see all this happening and it's kind of in slow motion. And my first instinct is protect Sophie. Sophie, go to the kitchen. Right. And when she does that, I see that guy grab my mom's hair and just pull her down to the pavement. Boom. And so the only thing I know how to do is do what a 11-year-old's not supposed to have to do. And I grabbed a knife from the kitchen and I run and I do what I do, right, to that guy. And I throw the knife and all that stuff, right? And the cops come and everything like that. And everybody's kind of like, just like, okay, this is normal, but it scarred me, Josh. Mm-hmm. Like it truly scarred me. And I'm driving home at 11 years old and everybody's intoxicated and things happen and I'm shocked. I don't know how I'll make it home. And I was emotionally messed up. But what messed me up worse, Josh, is 2 weeks later, we were back at the same place as if nothing happened and I'm still stuck, right? Mentally, I'm stuck, not knowing how to do this. Yeah. Mom, is it worth protecting you?
Wow.
Like, is it really worth protecting you? Because I can only protect what wants to be protected, right? And so I know you dealt with stuff like that. It's like circling back around, like, what did that do to you mentally? Because we saw things growing up that most people will never see in their lifetime.
So when I made that vow to myself about I wouldn't go let nobody else hurt my family.
Yeah.
I meant that physically, protecting emotionally, financially, in every way possible. That right there, that situation is what turned me into what we would categorize today as a workaholic.
Yeah.
That's when it was born right there. You see what I'm saying?
At 8 years old.
That's when it started. That's exactly when it started.
Wow.
So if I fast forward all the way now, I'm married, okay? You got this great girl, okay, high school sweetheart, comes from a great family. Dad is there. Mom is there. She's not from dysfunction. Twisted and dysfunction is not normal. Right. It's not normal. For her, it's not her normal. And now she gets married to this guy who comes from nothing. And because of that situation, that trauma, he's a workaholic. He can't sit still. He's never home. And he has finally found a passion and somebody that he can look up to. Wow. Terrible situation. That's a perfect storm.
Right.
Perfect storm. So now you got this guy who wants to be better than his situation, who wants to love, who wants to protect. His mom's still homeless. This guy wants to become somebody. He gets in front of a guy that he believes in, and he becomes a workaholic because of all those things, because he thinks I've got to work 10 times harder to make sure that this never happens again to the people I love.
Wow.
This can never happen again, so I got to go 0 to 100 right now because nobody's coming to save me. That's how it was for me. For her, it was, you're never home. All you care about is working out and being the top strength coach in the country, following Benny Wiley around. All you care about is money. And then you always want to be around your mom. You're a mama's boy.
Huh.
So that's her vision. And that's where the collide was, man. Like, that's when the dysfunction started, because we're just both operating on both ends of self.
Right, but you're also still operating as an 8-year-old.
Absolutely.
Boy.
He's there.
Right? But he's now 24, 25 years old, but he's really 8 years old.
He's 8.
Right, he's 8 years old. Most people become an adult at 18.
Yeah.
You came one at 8.
Yeah.
Right, and so how does that affect, we all know the divorce happened after that, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have to go into all those details, but it was almost a result of you staying so busy protecting what you don't want to lose, yet you lost everything, right? You lost everything.
Absolutely.
I remember going back into there when we reconnected, your mom had just passed.
Yeah. So 2 things big happened right there, right? Yeah. Got a divorce.
Yep.
Okay. She showed up and was like, hey, man, I can't do this anymore. So I got to serve papers. Like, I didn't even get a full closure. It was just like, all you do is work. You're never here, right? You're never here. So I got to go find a husband that wants to actually be here. Because I don't want to raise, like, I want to have kids by you. But if I have kids by you, I want to be raising them by myself, because all you care about is work. And it's just climbing. That's all you care about. So she leaves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I do? I thought every woman walking wanted a man that worked hard and protected and provided. Right?
You know, it messes up your recipe for what culture tells us how to be a man, right?
Absolutely.
Financially be good.
Yeah.
Physically be fit.
Gotta be the guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And then just protect and provide.
Sure.
You were doing all of those things. You followed the recipe to a T.
Sure.
And it wasn't enough. No. It was really the wrong recipe, right?
Yeah.
You were cooking from the wrong oven, right? You were at Performance Lab. I'll walk in and you just told me about your mom.
My mom, before she died, because I got to put this part into it. I got to tell you this. Before my mom passed away, she was giving me little nitpicks of the situation that she was dealing with. But she didn't want to tell me exactly what it was, because she didn't want me to look at her less than.
Wow.
So she didn't say, son, I'm going to die. She just would be like, man, I'm not feeling too good. I got to go to the hospital. And then she'd go spend some time in the hospital for a few weeks and then get out. And I'd go see her in the hospital. And it's funny because my mom is a strong woman. She's worked 2 or 3 jobs her whole life. Yeah. So I never seen her as being the person who was sick. She was like Wonder Woman to me. Mm-hmm. So it never dawned on me ever that she was dying. It was just, oh, mama's not feeling too good. She's got a little cough. She'll be fine. Like, she's good. Wow. We don't ever go to the hospital, you know? Like, you know, she's okay. She'd be here and be out. And she would come by the house and she would tell me, hey, I wasn't feeling too good, but I went to the hospital. I'm good now. That's okay, Mom. And we'd go get something to eat and it would nothing, act like nothing happened. Until one day, she's in the hospital for a long time. And I don't know if I was in denial or what, but she's in the hospital for a long time. And I'm just like, man, what's going on? My mom's acting like she's good, so I guess it's just kind of, normal routine. She's all right. My grandmother's here. I guess she'll be out soon. So I didn't think nothing of it. I go back to work. A few weeks later, I come back. My mom's still in the hospital. And I remember one of the nurses pulled me off to the side, and she said, your mom is real sick. She's not going to make it. Wow. And I can remember looking at this woman. Bless this woman. But I remember looking at her like she's like speaking a foreign language. Like it didn't stick. Yeah. It just did not stick. And I just remember saying, oh, she'll be all right. She's going to be okay. And then, long story made longer, my mom had 2 heart attacks on the table and she was dead. And I cried for a year. Yeah. Just like randomly on and off crying for a year, dude.
You lost your best friend.
Oh, dude. It was crazy. And here's what made it worse. Okay. So go back to 8-year-old Joshua. I told myself, I said, nobody's hurting anybody I love ever again. Well, my mom was actually abused and raped, and she caught a deathly sexually transmitted disease that killed her. Right. So then I felt like that was my fault. You see what I'm saying?
The protector.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to protect.
Because there's nobody else there. So who else going to do it? So she never told me that. The person who told me that was the doctor. Doctor said, your mother asked me not to tell you this until she was gone, but this is why she died. And it's what I just told you. Wow. And I was like, why did she never tell me that? And my grandmother's crying because my grandmother knew. Everybody knew. I didn't know, RJ.
But the son.
I didn't know. Because I was like her, it's like I want my son to look at me in this way. He cannot look at me in this way. Yeah. And it just killed me, dude. And so first wife leaves and then that happens. So literally I'm supposed to be the protector and I keep dropping the ball. Consistently keep dropping the ball, RJ, in both of those deals, man. Wow. Yeah. So,
man, thanks for sharing that. And gosh, that's tough. Yeah. It's tough. And I know there's some conversation that we can still have about that. But, man, I want to talk about what we've talked about recently. Yeah. Right. And we have a saying we've always said, when we first met was, let's keep it a buck, right? Let's keep it a buck, right? Yeah. And the thing that pisses us off a lot are these dudes, right? Oh, my gosh. Because I was one of those dudes, right? Yeah. Walking around acting like their stuff doesn't stink or they're not gonna mess up, right? And maybe they might not mess up publicly, but they are messing up privately, right? And so we had a conversation the other day, right? You're like, man, you cannot tell me, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I know where you go ahead. I know where
you cannot tell me, right? No matter how old you are as a dude, right? If you are not mentally strong, spiritually strong, that you will not fall for the trap of a good-looking woman. Yes. Right? So the conversation started was like, RJ, I'm kind of single again. What's out there? And I said, hell's out there, and temptation's out there, and I'm kind of upset with God because He made too many pretty women out there, right? And you're like, but like, what's it like?
What's going on?
That's exactly.
Because I don't know.
I love how you say that. Like you go into this, like, what's going on?
Like, you know, you kind of like, you look around the corner like, man, what's going on?
You're like that little 8-year-old boy looking through the blinds, right? What's going on? And so you said like, man, like, I don't know what's worse.
Dude.
Men who are messing up
Yeah.
or men who are lying about messing up.
Yeah.
So go into that, like, what did you mean by that?
Listen, man, okay, we all fall short.
Yeah.
And I don't say that to say like it's okay to mess up. I'm not saying that. So don't hear that. But I think it's worse when you lie about messing up, because then you paint a picture of you can go through life and not mess up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Josh, we had conversations, remember, like just recently to a couple of years ago about us men messing up privately.
Yes.
We're in the bed jacking off, right? But outside, we're telling everybody, oh, I'm living pure.
Listen, man.
Ain't nobody coming to the house.
Listen, man.
But there's a third sock in my bedroom,
Listen,
right?
man. Listen, dude. And that's the thing that I think needs to be talked about more. Because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck in the, you know, in the dark. Like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one dealing with this. Woe is me. I can't get out of this deal. No, dude, it's tough. And by the way, you're not the only one.
Right.
And you know what? You're my brother. Let's see if we can fix this together.
Right.
Let's try to fix it together. You need some help? Like, let's see if we can try to work this thing out and hold each other accountable. But it'll never get to that point if you always feel like you're the only one dealing with it because nobody wants to speak about the issues that they're dealing with, man.
Right.
That's a reality, dude.
For sure. And I lived like that life. You lived it too, right?
Yes, dude.
Our suit jacket is always buttoned up.
Tight. Square.
Square.
Yep.
My it's perfect.
No
right?
mistakes.
I'm looking great.
Clean.
Right. I'm clean, fresh and clean. Right? Nobody knows, right? I'm always edged up. I'm looking right. My watch is on right. My jeans are creased up. Everything looks great. But inside, I'm broken because I won't let anybody else know that I'm struggling.
That's how the devil keep you trapped, though, Jay. Jay, that's how the devil keep you trapped.
Right.
Because if you look outward, you go, well, man, I've never heard this guy talk about it. I look up to him. I've never heard that guy talk about it. I look up to him. Something must be wrong with me.
Right.
I don't have nobody to talk to. So I need to fix this. I need to figure this thing out on my own. You see what I'm saying? There's no community for it. We don't talk about it.
I shared this just a couple of days ago with these men that I mentor. It's the people who know us the best know the least about our struggles. I have people I can call, but I am trying to flex on them.
Yeah.
And I gas myself up, so I sure as hell am not going to tell them I'm struggling.
Right.
I still remember the day you told me about this last marriage, right? And you're like, man, I just found out she cheated on me. And I know I'm supposed to forgive her. And I think I've forgiven her, but I cannot forget. But I'm also addicted to something, right? And I can't stop. And I feel like I'm just as bad. I'm cheating on her, right? With the phone screen, and she's cheating on me with somebody face to face. Like, how do I do this? And I remember you broke. Bro, and you really because you were lost again.
Absolutely.
And you figured out like, man, I can't do this alone. And so we started talking and you started just revealing something, and something I'll never forget. And I want us to tap into this for a second. Is you said, I forgave her, but those images that keep on running through my head
still there.
Were still there, especially when she wanted to get intimate. I couldn't get I couldn't get myself to go there because I could not forget. What was mine was now shared. Right? And so it blanked you up, right?
Dude.
And so where were you mentally there?
Man, it's so funny you bring that up, RJ, because if I'm being honest, man, that all that, it's so funny. All that stuff leads back to the 8-year-old Josh still. It's all the same, right? So I got somebody that I love and trust that in my mother that is being hurt. She's gone. She leaves. She didn't leave on purpose. She died, but she left. And then I have this other woman who I love, trust, leave, gone. Next one, love, trust, out, gone. When you ask me how that makes me feel and where's my mindset, man, I mean, for me, for no man's land. So there's a saying we used to use in college football and high school football as a safety or a linebacker. You're either going to stay home, read your keys, right? You're reading that lineman, that tackle, and then you react. You got to react accordingly, right? It's going to be a run or it's going to be a pass. Don't get stuck in no man's land where you don't know where to go.
Right.
You don't know where to move because you're not reading your keys, and then you get blindsided. No man's land is the worst place to be.
Wow.
For years, I was stuck there. And that is where the porn addiction developed, out of just being stressed, dude. So now my safe haven was lifting, but just going and lifting wasn't enough for me it wasn't a place where I can go and say, this is my therapy. That wasn't enough anymore.
Wow.
Always tense, always stressed, because the three things, or the three women in my life that I love the most, they all left. So now I'm just crazy stressed. I'm in no man's land. I work too hard. I don't work hard enough. Maybe I'm addicted to trying to be the most successful guy. How do I turn that down but still get what I want to get in life? How am I there all the time? Also provide the life I want to provide. Like, how am I Superman? How do I be Superman? You know, without kryptonite.
Wow. Yeah.
Didn't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just in no man's land, dude.
But it also messes with your mental, where you are now challenging your own identity, right? Like
100%.
Okay, I thought I looked like the perfect dude.
100%.
And yet these jokers over here that look nothing like the recipe have the life that I really want.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we talked about some of these jokers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big bellies, all these things.
All the things, dude.
Smiling, living life. And I'm sitting there saying, God, I did everything right.
Yeah, I was dropping my integrity. Like the things and the morals that I stood for, I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that no more because it's not working. I need to try something else. Because this is no longer serving me well. And that's when I started looking at other play. Man, that's when I started leaving strength and conditioning. Like, man, I got to go do something else. Because apparently this is not it.
You know, it messes you up when you start doubting everything that you were taught biblically.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? Trust in God, do right, and good things will happen to you.
So you say, right?
Right.
You know.
That's what it's taught, right?
Yeah.
The golden rule,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But what we never talk about when it doesn't line up. Because the first thing we want to do is like, okay, God, I know I can't curse you or whatever. I know I can't because I still fear you, but I don't know that I trust you.
RJ, the crazy thing about it is this. Here's the conversation I'm having with God, and it's crazy. I'm going to say this, but this is a reality. You know what? I haven't been intimate with my wife in over 2 years. Mm-hmm. God, what do you want me to do? You want me to just sit here? You want me to go cheat on my wife? You want me to go, you know what? I'm just going to watch this. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
That's what I started bargaining. Like, well, it's better than this. I'm going to do this.
Right. At least it's not with an actual person.
At least it's not with an actual person. I'm going to do this. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bad place to be, man.
Well, you're going back to what you said. You're in no man's land.
No man's land. What are you going to do?
When you're in no man's land, you don't know how to think properly.
No. You're
right?
just going.
So you're alone in your room.
Yeah.
Because the wife is in the living room.
I'm upstairs.
Right. Y'all are just roommates.
You're just roommates.
Right.
Paying the bills.
You're still wearing the ring.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to feel intimate with the woman, right?
Yeah.
Because you are now struggling with abandonment.
Yeah.
From women.
100%.
And so you do things to satisfy you.
Yep.
So you're searching for love, and the only way that you think that you can receive that is sexually.
Right.
Whether it's by yourself or doing whatever. Yeah. You're really searching for love, and your mind's messed up and thinks that the only way that you can get love is through sex.
Yes.
Right. I have this theory that I truly believe happens, that a lot of women, they will give sex to get love.
Absolutely.
Right. And as men, we give love to get sex.
Absolutely.
Right. And so mentally, like, we're all jacked up a little bit. Right. And so I think that's why some men, right, are acting like boys, is because they don't know how to control that.
Yeah.
Right. So they're walking around just being these F boys or whatever, or they're not, their mental's not, they don't want to purposely violate women.
Sure.
But they're trying to validate their feelings and their emotions and their, I need to release. I need to get all these things out of me. I'm so stressed. Like, I just want to just be in the lap of somebody, or I want to be in bed. I want to be cuddled with somebody.
Well, RJ, let's talk about this, dude, because what I don't want to do is just paint a picture of this other person doing the wrong thing like I didn't do anything wrong. Here's the deal that I messed up on, because it goes back to the 8-year-old Josh.
Yeah.
I'm never there.
Right.
I'm always trying to be the best version of myself to these collegiate and high school athletes.
Because your absence is felt more than your presence.
Absolutely.
Right. And so we want to say, okay, they're the ones that messed up, but truthfully, an
I had a
absent
part to
husband.
play in that, dude.
That's how I lost my marriage,
I had a
Josh.
part to play in it, man.
I was addicted to the fulfillment of RJ has to be fed. RJ has to have these. RJ has to go preach and do all these things.
Yeah.
And I was never home.
Yeah.
And so the moment I grew up was the day that I stopped being okay with my bullshit.
Yeah, bro.
Right? Like
God,
I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And that's the moment I started to grow.
Yeah, man. And it's tough, dude, because here's a juggling act as you go, man, I feel like I have this yearning and desire to do said thing. Mm-hmm. God, you feel like God has built me for said activity, and this is what I want to do. So you go in on all that, effortlessly giving all you got, because you feel like you're born for that. How do I do that to the fullest and not bargain my marriage? Because there's a woman over here who needs me there. I didn't do this part very well. Why, though? Because, again, you're a workaholic, because you said that you're going to be the strongest man that you can be physically, financially, emotionally.
I'm putting up fences to protect the things that I love.
No doubt.
But I'm not watering the grass.
You ain't doing nothing.
Gosh, thank you.
Tea time. Tea time. Tea time. Tea time. Tea time. Tea time like I got
GP, it's time for y'all's favorite segment, Tea Time. Tea Time is where we answer the questions that you guys have submitted, so continue to do that. But Josh, these questions, I have not read them.
Oh.
You have not read them, right?
No.
But it's also rapid fire.
Okay.
So there's no thinking. What I have under here, I'm going to ask you, and you're going to answer right away. Same thing. We're going to go one for one.
All right.
You ready?
I think.
Don't get all scared for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah.
God, no, bro. What you scared of? There ain't no pictures. It's just words.
Oh, Lord.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Who's first?
You.
Okay, I like to be first. Okay, here it goes.
Okay.
When did your faith start to feel real, not just routine?
Oh, way.
Stop stalling, go.
Oh, man, that's tough. I can't stall at all.
No.
All right. Leaving strength and conditioning. I'd say when I had to leave strength and conditioning and rely on God, that's when
felt real.
That's when it felt real. Yeah.
Good.
So,
Go ahead.
my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. What is one way you protect your peace?
By recognizing when somebody's taken from it,
Okay.
right? And not just winking at it, just because they got a pretty face or they got potential.
Right there.
I never forgot how much it cost me to get my peace.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm not going to just charge it to the game.
Okay. Straight up.
Do you communicate to be heard or to be understood? Good question.
Definite. Man, I love that question.
Well, answer it.
Understood. Guaranteed understood.
Okay, why did it
Yeah.
take so long?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
All right, go ahead. Hurry.
Let's see what we got right here. What's one thing your parents never said but you needed to hear?
Life's going to kick your ass at one point. Do you have the strength to bounce back, or are you going to stay down? I think a lot of times as parents, we try to filter pain and disappointment. And I love my parents to death. They're amazing. But they never prep me for when life hits. What you thinking about over there?
Bro, I mean, we can hang up right there.
Well, I want to tap into this real quick before we go to the next second.
Yeah.
I think the reason why you didn't believe that nurse is because you were in that mental of that 8-year-old boy that doesn't know any better.
Yeah, right.
So you can't, mom's superhero.
Yeah.
She can't get sick.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just tired.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So as a young boy, we don't know how to mentally get to the place of reality. We stay in the wonders of fantasy.
It would have been great to hear, like, who are you trying to prove wrong, Josh? You're a good man.
Wow.
Who you running from, dude?
I wish that we could tell that to men out there. That is a perfect question that if RJ now would be able to talk to the 24, 25-year-old,
Yeah.
RJ, and you do the same for yours,
Yeah.
that's what I would ask them.
Yeah.
Is that, man, who are you trying to prove?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Who are you trying to get the applause from? Because a lot of time we're trying to get the applause from people who aren't even watching us, right?
They don't even care, bro.
They don't. GP, that's it for Tea Time. Thanks again so much for your questions. Y'all are killing it with them. Continue to submit them in. We love them. Next time, y'all submit them in. Also include your name, and we're going to give y'all a shout out. Thank you so much. All right, fam, we're going to introduce a new segment called Rush the Mic. This is where our staff is going to give us a word, Josh.
Okay.
And we got to use that in a song.
Man.
Right? So, however, we don't have the name, the title, nothing, just lyrically, do you know some music?
Yeah, we're going to see, I guess.
Oh, we will.
We're going to see.
Act like you're at the skating ring. Here we go. Ready? But be right. Hold on. That looks like you're closer. All right.
All right, so the first word is kiss.
I was gonna say "Kiss Me, Baby" one more time, but that's the wrong one, ain't it?
That's a song.
That's not even the song.
Well, let me see that.
You see what you got?
Kiss me, baby, one more time. That's it. Okay.
It's "Hit Me, Baby" one more time. See, I told you we were wrong on that one.
What about Seal? Seal has that song.
Seal, who is Seal?
Kiss from a rose.
Next one.
Again.
Next
Okay.
one.
0-0.
Yeah, I'll take one. That's a point for me because
Oh, just because you grabbed the mic?
yeah.
The next word is day.
Day and night.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Every night. Yeah. Okay, right here. Go. I'm up one. Okay, go.
All right.
The next word is love.
I know you love me.
Oh my
I know you
gosh.
care.
Yeah, RJ, you got
Shout
it.
whenever.
God, get out of here.
I'll be there. You are my love. Okay.
The next word is money.
I get money. I get money. 50 Cent. Let's go.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, life of a legend. I know.
Okay, well, go ahead.
I got one.
I got one. Where we going to 3? Okay, keep on. We get shut up. Okay.
The next word is soul.
I'm a soul survivor. Who's that? Akon? If you're looking for me, I'll be on the block with my thing shot.
Well, sing it. Stop mumbling.
That's all I got.
Was it soul?
Soul survivor.
Just.
Yes. So it's 2-2.
Oh, I got 2.
I think you got 2.
I think okay.
I'll be at 1.
I think I got 1, but I won't cheat you. I'll teach you.
The next word is goodbye.
Goodbye yesterday. That's it.
I don't even know that
because
song.
you ain't been going to church. Shout out Social Dallas. We'll be there on Sunday. Okay, yeah.
I need to go.
It's 2-2. Yeah, and I'm not talking about church as chicken. I'm talking about church.
I got you.
The next word is fire.
Fire away. When we do it again. Open up.
What'd you say? Fireman. Fire for fireman. Lil Wayne. Let's go.
No, that's not the right. No, that's not a song.
Yes, that is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Fireman.
it is.
Fireman.
Yes.
No.
3-2. I'm about to win.
No.
I'm about to win.
No, I
getting
don't.
ready
I
to
don't.
win.
I'm not counting that one.
I'm
not,
getting ready to
the,
win.
The team has not
You're
said
not
yes.
the ref.
Okay, but I got the whistle.
Got the whistle.
The next word is baby.
Baby, you're all that I want, and I'm lying here in your arms.
Yep. And that song is old.
Yeah. One more. It's 3-3.
Okay.
33.
Yeah.
The last word is hustle.
Hustle and flow. Hustle. 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 Hustle.
Hustle.
Hey,
Every day I'm hustling. Okay. I like it.
so you're 4-3.
4-3, RJ.
Can we go one more? We'll go to 5. They say we got.
So I gotta
we cheat over here.
I gotta
Okay.
make.
We don't cheat on our partners. We cheat in the games.
I got to make
okay?
this one.
So it's 4-3.
I'm up 4. I'm up. Yeah.
4-3.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure your water don't fall.
Okay.
The next word is fly.
I'm a church boy. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll
Yes.
fly away.
Yes.
Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Yep.
They don't know about the hymns, Josh. They
That's
don't know.
old school right there.
Is it?
I forgot about it.
Shoot.
Yeah. Last one.
That's one. Okay.
Last one. Best one.
Your word is light.
Light that.
Turn off the lights. What's future song? Yes, it is. Hold on.
You need more than
Lights,
that.
camera, action. Hold
I
on.
don't know, RJ. I feel like you
Lights,
reaching right
lights.
now, son.
Shine bright like a
No.
that's a diamond.
Here. I got one. You got it or what? Does that count? That does not count.
Hold on.
I can't reach it, son. You got to give me the mic.
Lights.
Here, I got you. Flashing.
That's the song I was thinking. That's the song I was thinking.
Dude, you didn't say it. Josh okay,
Jones
wins.
First time in your life you beat me at something. That's
okay,
crazy.
yeah, no,
That's
is
crazy.
a lie.
No, it's not.
That is absolutely a lie.
Okay. All right, GP, that's it for the new segment called Rush the Mic. If you guys like that, let us know. Comment, share, do all the things. Let us know if you're feeling that. And next time, I promise not to lose. Thank you so much. All right, GP fam, it's time for my favorite segment, Mic flip. This is where I become the guest and the guest becomes the host. Josh, you've been trying to be me for years now. Here you go. You get an opportunity to be the host of Going Public.
Yeah.
This is where you can ask me anything on the table, and I am not going to be shy enough to go public.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 2 questions.
Oh.
Yeah, don't just be going so long. Just go do your thing. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm your guest.
All right. RJ, here's my question. Question number 1. Okay. And I really want you to think about this before you just answer it quick. All right. In your life, okay, how old are you?
41.
41 years old. In your life, what character in the Bible have you felt like and why?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Think.
I didn't know that somebody that looked like you could be smart to ask a question like that. And I'm stalling, right? A little bit.
That's okay.
It's Barabbas.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Barabbas' story, this is the worst of the worst, right? And the crowd is saying, man, let's crucify Jesus, right? Crucify Jesus. And Pilate brings out this guy who has been the definition of bad.
Yeah.
And they're saying, who do you want? Who do you want to be free? Barabbas or Jesus, who has done nothing wrong but just kind of like said his title of who he is? And they said, give us Jesus to be crucified.
Wow.
So it's, for me, that picture, that story was God had to treat Jesus like Barabbas so that he could treat Barabbas like Jesus. And so there's been times in my life when I've messed up so bad, I deserved the punishment. I deserved going to wherever I went, right? Deserved losing these things. But I never deserved the grace of God to say, no, freedom is here. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness is here. So the person in the Bible that I felt like and still sometimes feel like is Barabbas, because I am guilty of everything that I've done.
Yeah.
Yet he sets me free.
Yeah.
So give me another
answer.
one.
Hey, great answer.
Thank you.
I would say
I'm here all night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leave a tip at the door.
Okay. What do you think the biggest problem that men face today? And in your humble opinion, what's the solution?
Being okay with lying, whether that's to some of their best friends or to themselves, because we're constantly trying to gas ourselves up, right? I know some friends that make $50,000 a year, but when they're around all of us friends, they may now make $500,000 a year. And as men, we wink at lies instead of calling people out and be like, bro, like, you don't have to flex. Mm-hmm. This is a safe place for you to tell the truth.
Yeah.
The solution is going back to what we talked about earlier, is community.
Yep.
Right? Truly trusting that the people that love me and care for me. And they don't have to be told a story that's not true for them to like me. The solution is, once you truly are okay and you love yourself, then you're no longer having to perform, right? So now I always say this, the whole reason behind this pod is heal the boy, get the man, right? But I had to heal before I got the man that I am now, right? But in order to do that, I had to die to the performance RJ, and I had to fall in love with who I am right now.
No doubt.
You love me? Cool. You hate me? I'm still rocking with me.
No doubt.
Right. And so, yeah, I love the question, Josh.
Yeah,
you're
that's
awesome.
good, brother.
All right, GP, that's it for tonight's segment with Josh Jones. Do us a favor. Go follow him. He just set up his new IG. It is JJF.
Yeah, JJF.
Right, for Josh Jones Fitness. Go do that. Do yourselves a favor. Go follow him. He has just started doing an online
personal training.
Just
started it, man.
You see his body. He's submitted to me some ideas. I'm gonna say ideas, but
this guy.
But you've given me really some blueprints how to become a better version of myself.
Yes, sir.
And so, audience, do yourselves a favor. Go follow him right now. He's gonna start posting more content about how to become the best version of yourself when it comes to your physical appearance, and then also we're gonna just chime in and do some spiritual stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So Josh, it's been a blessing having you on, bro. Every time I see you, I'm smiling because seriously, you are what I consider my twin, and I love you for it. And thank you so much.
Love you, brother. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that's it, everybody. Go like, share, comment, on this episode. And do us a big favor. If you love us, go subscribe right now. Thank you. We'll see you next Thursday.
Modes on the beat.